30 seconds away from talking about planning a firefighter funeral. He has a long road of recovery.
Firefighter being treated in the burn unit at Ascension Columbia St. Mary's Hospital. He'd been trying to rescue the victim trapped in an attic when the floor became completely enveloped in flames. Large fire at an industrial site in Menominee Falls Sunday night. Smoke could be seen coming from the Arco Sales and Engineering building on Carmen Avenue near Lilly and Silver Spring Drive. Unknown if there were any injuries or what caused that fire. Israel vowing to respond to Iran's weekend drone and missile attack. An aide to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said no final decisions have been made on the type or timing of the response. The official made the comment after Israel's war cabinet met for several hours Sunday night. ABC's Karen Travers tells Wisconsin's Morning News the White House is uncertain what an Israeli response could look like, but hopes are high for de-escalation.
Recently, as just 30 minutes ago, the administration says they don't know what Israel is going to do next. They don't have an indication of that. But the president was very clear and has been clear that the U.S. does not seek a wider war, does not seek conflict with Iran, and doesn't want to see that.
Less than 100 days away from the RNC, and the hotels are booked solid. Editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Mark Cass, tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News the economic impact will stretch far beyond Milwaukee.
For the 24 convention for the Democrats, all of the delegations are staying at 8 hotels, 8 overall hotels. In Milwaukee, in the region, it's over 100. So that just shows how much more it's spread out here.
But some restaurants and owners of event spaces say they aren't seeing as many bookings and commitments. 3 of Milwaukee County's top elected officials will get raises after a vote from the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors. The board adopted a nearly 12% raise for the treasurer, county clerk, and register of deeds. The decision comes after County Executive David Crowley vetoed a proposal for a 36% raise. The new proposal now heads to his desk for approval. All 3 officials are up for re-election this fall, and the raises will go into effect for the winners of those elections. Today is tax day. The IRS says most taxpayers should be seeing their refund about 3 weeks after filing. If you didn't opt for direct deposit and instead filed on paper or are waiting for a check, it could take a bit longer. The IRS Where's My Refund tool allows taxpayers to check the status of their refund. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 60 points. NASDAQ now down just 4. The S&P 500 is up 6. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 10:04.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Ryan Stefanchek.
Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
I decided that spending the time and money to rehab the unit and sell it through conventional means was not in my best interest. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly. The process with Grandview was virtually effortless.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Brewer Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks fell to the Magic 113-88 in their regular season finale from Orlando. Milwaukee finishes third in the Eastern Conference 49-33. The Bucks host the Pacers in round one of the playoffs next weekend. And the Brewers could not sweep the Orioles following a 6-4 loss in the series finale from Baltimore. Milwaukee leads the NL Central 10-4. Will host the Padres tonight for the start of a 3-game series. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. There is a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder, I-41 north at Elm Road. No other major delays to report this morning. Pretty typical drive times. 43 southbound from Brown Deer Road to the Marquette Interchange, about a 13-minute drive. 94 north from Layton Avenue to the Marquette, running about 6 this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. Sunny and mild today with high 65 lakeside, 71 inland, partly cloudy overnight, low tonight 43. Rain and storms likely with a high of 57 tomorrow. Rain and storms Wednesday, high 65. A few showers, mostly cloudy and breezy Thursday, high 58. Then Friday, partly cloudy, 55 for the high. 60 in Madison, 58 Green Bay, 62 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ, showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's your host, Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place yours.
Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning, Wisconsin. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did indeed. Full of sunshine and smiles. Wow, it was just so nice. Also, to kick it off, I had a great lunch on Friday. A really good lunch meeting. Came up with several new show ideas and segments, so listen for those in the coming weeks. Some really good, exciting stuff on tap. I want to continue to explore kind of the why behind Wisconsin businesses, what drives leaders, what shapes them, and how they overcome change and challenge. It's kind of at the heart of our conversations with people that care and do here on the Upswing. There's lots of change and lots of challenge, especially in the world of marketing and podcasting. So our guest today is going to be wonderful with some great insights into the podcasting and the content creation world that we all live in, or at least we access on a daily basis, right? I'm guessing you probably listened to a podcast this weekend. Chances are you did. According to Pew Research Center, Americans who listen to podcasts has substantially increased over the last decade. And as of the end of last year, 42% of Americans ages 12 and older listened to a podcast in the last month. That's according to research from Edison. Some other podcast stats just to tee up our topic today. There's 414 million podcasts globally. 414 million. Podcast industry now is currently worth almost $24 billion. There are 505 million podcast listeners globally. And it's predicted that more than 100 million active podcast listeners are in the U.S. for next year, for this year. And the average American, what do you think? How many podcasts each and every week? This kind of surprised me. 8 podcasts a week the average American listens to. Without a doubt, podcasts and now kind of short-form audio and video have really compelling roles to play in the business and popular culture, nationally, internationally, and locally. A friendly reminder, you can find podcast versions of all WTMJ shows at WTMJ.com, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm kind of mainly an Apple guy. I love that platform, but Spotify is great too. Obviously, there are others. Audio content specifically helps archive and tell the stories of businesses, founders, owners, and people that have taken big risks to create jobs, visions, and build community. I think it's important to find what makes companies tick. And that's why I'm excited to talk to our guest today. He has wonderful insights into the marketing world and has created a business that is not only on the forefront of the podcasting world, but in really creative marketing space right here in Walker's Point of Milwaukee. There are a lot of agencies and entities in the podcasting space and marketing worlds. In a former life of mine, I met Richie Burke, whose company at the time was called Go Get It. He was in the daily deal space, but he pivoted into marketing, branding, and storytelling and podcasting. He was really early in the agency space, building podcasts for companies that wanted to tell their stories through audio. Today, Richie Burke, the president and CEO of Storymark Studios, joins us on the Upswing. We're going to talk media. We're going to talk marketing. We're going to talk podcasting. We're going to talk about what it's like to live and work through a change of businesses, pivot your business, rename and rebrand your business, what it's like to battle with anxiety and even stage fright when doing presentations. And get this, we're going to talk about how Richie Burke worked with his father to put together a playbook to run for president of the United States. All this and much more coming up. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ. We'll be right back after this break.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Disability Rights Wisconsin's Medicare Part D helpline is here to help disabled or elderly Medicare beneficiaries with questions about their Part D prescription benefit. The Part D helpline may be able to help you save money on your Part D premium, deductible, and copays. For free, unbiased assistance, please call the Disability Rights Wisconsin Medicare Part D helpline any time of the year at 1-800-926-4862. 1-800-926-4862.
Here's more of The Upswing on WTMJ.
Welcome back to The Upswing, a Monday edition of The Big Show. Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios, joins us today. Richie, you and I met in, I think, 2010 or so. You started your business, Go Get It, in 2011. Give us the short Richie Burke story. And thanks for taking the time to be with us.
Yeah, it's great seeing you today. Short story, I went to Marquette, graduated in 2011, then started a company, GoGetIt.com, as a deal site. Apparently there weren't enough of those at that point in time.
You were early in that daily deal space and kind of that era of Groupon.
I went in when it was very saturated. I worked door-to-door sales in college the year before that.
Okay.
Didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated, so I decided to start a daily deal site platform and went door-to-door to a lot of small businesses, and we did events. I was going to like Jazz in the Park with Go Get It sunglasses and an iPad to get email addresses.
Okay.
We do events, just things like that. First year, we had over 15,000 subscribers, users, and worked with over 100 businesses, but it wasn't making money. It was not profitable. It was a very high volume, low margin business. So I think it was pretty good execution on what was a bad business model back then, but we did start running some social media accounts and shooting videos for small businesses back in 2012. Got a relatively good response from that. Pivoted into an agency in 2013, mainly doing social media and video, which was a complete mess. I don't know if I have time to get into it on this 6-minute segment, but made a couple hires I probably shouldn't have. I learned to do background checks.
That's what happens early in the business stage, especially in the marketing agency world, right? You learn a lot along the way.
Yeah, one of them, we signed a big client like 3 months in. We had a video shoot that morning in March in Milwaukee. It was like a Wednesday morning, and I was sleeping. I was really nervous because your first break as a business owner, you got to deliver, and my phone starts vibrating at like 4 a.m. and I usually never answer unknown numbers, but I picked it up. It's like, hello, this is the Milwaukee County Jail. You accept this phone call. And my one employee who was running the shoot decided to go on a little bender on a Tuesday night in Milwaukee in March, which I don't know where you go to do that. But and then ended up in jail. And I was his one phone call, so I hopped out of bed and went over to the county jail, and his car was...
Teammates first. It's always about building the culture. You got to take care of your team.
That's right. And his car was towed with all the camera equipment in it. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule the big shoot that day. But, luckily, my RA from Marquette, who went to NYU after, started working for this boutique branding agency out in New York, and we did a bunch of white label work for them, which they probably marked up times 10, but that was still more than anything we were getting paid here at that point in time, and snowballed into projects all over the country, and that helped us get our start. Got into podcasting in 2016, started the Go-Getters, which has turned into Milwaukee Uncut, which we relaunched this year, which I think we'll get into. Got into podcasting in 2016. It kind of grew from there, and saw business kind of dropping off in 2022, and took a look in the mirror and decided we needed to make some changes, and moved and built out a studio in Walker's Point and rebranded to Storymark Studios and the show to Milwaukee Uncut. And right now we're really focusing on helping companies tell better stories. A lot of companies do not tell good stories, and a lot of their content falls flat, whether it's sales presentations to their website, to their videos. So we do a lot of that, help bring them to life and help companies market themselves on an ongoing basis.
So at the heart of what you do as an agency now is storytelling. So what's the secret to good storytelling, and how do you counsel your clients to differentiate in the content space?
Yes, any story in its purest form is about a kind of a flawed character who wants something, who overcomes an obstacle and receives a transformation. We've developed our own 8-part storytelling framework that we lead brands through and create brand narratives for them that they can use in their sales pitches and in their videos. But at the heart of every good, compelling story, it's about a character that overcomes an obstacle and receives a transformation. The bigger the obstacle, the more at stake, typically the better that story is. And a lot of companies kind of position themselves as their own hero and talk about themselves, usually in a chronological way, usually in a non-compelling way. But whether it's a 30-second social clip or a 8-minute documentary style video for a brand, we're always looking at what's the most compelling story that we can tell, because especially in this world, if you're doing a short video or anything, like, people's attention spans are like that, and if they drop off at any point, the watch time is going to go down, the algorithms are going to push it down. So when we're creating digital ads or content or sales decks, like, we need to keep people engaged and hook them right away. So,
well, when we come back, I want to talk about how you position, you align the marketing side, the finance side, to kind of bring stories to life, and what that looks like from a podcast perspective, especially in a podcast world that now is getting increasingly crowded. How do you counsel companies to stand out in that space? And then we're going to talk about your golf game and your athletic career, and how golf has helped you power through as a business leader. I don't think there's much
to talk about there, but I appreciate it.
We're talking with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios. This is The Upswing. We'll be right back after this break.
Back with more of The Upswing after this. Wisconsin's Morning News.
Even if you want to say that's how it should be, that isn't how it is.
Listen to Vince Vitrano every weekday starting at 6 a.m.
You know it's going to be looked at. You know it's going to be scrutinized. You know these news agencies don't just hand stuff out then that you handed to them. They're not a conduit. It is important when you talk about our photos being doctored up and handed out to the media, and what the media responsibility is for reviewing their authenticity before spitting them out to their other subsidiaries.
On Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
Family Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. It's time to get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data, and you get to choose who joins your family plan starting as low as $25 a line. Does it have to be family? It can be family or people you like.
Get more lines and more savings. Switch to Straight Talk for family plan starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So when our parents were moving from the farm to town when they retired, all these old pieces had to go somewhere because they were getting a smaller place. So we each got some furniture.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
There was one piece that still had our grandmother's name on it. It was the delivery ticket, basically. It was on the back of the piece, written with lead pencil. And instead of an address, it just said her name, Boyd, Wisconsin. That was the delivery
Back
address.
then, that's all you needed for an address.
Yeah.
That was the piece of furniture that all 5 of us kids wanted. You know, of all the furniture that had grandma's name on it.
Today, I tell people that ask me, like, okay, I bought this piece of heirloom furniture. Is there anything special I should do with it? Flip it over, turn it around, take a magic marker, and write on that thing your name, when you bought this, where you bought it from, why you bought it. That piece will be cherished in your family for centuries to come.
People want to be connected to their ancestors a little bit, and this is one way of doing that.
And the furniture we're building today, 300 years from now, somebody's going to be like, wow, that thing was well built for its time.
PennyMustard.com.
Hey, John Mercure here with my friend Joe Shutman, the owner of Sidex Window Siding and Baths, who tells me it's not so much about the product, it's about the customers.
At the end of the day, this is a people business.
Sidex did my bathroom and transformed it by taking out a bathtub and putting in a gorgeous walk-in shower.
We got to make people happy at the end of the day, and that only works by getting it done right.
Joe took over the business when his dad passed away, and carrying on his legacy is what it's all about.
Nothing's more important to me.
It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, like excellence. Check out SidexRemodel.com.
The Upswing is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of The Upswing. We're talking with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios, all things media, marketing, podcasting, and more. So, Richie, what's your basic definition of marketing? Client comes to you and says, we need to market better. What's marketing mean to you?
Feel that, got to press the on button first live radio show. I feel that good marketing is inspiring. It inspires people to make a change. We talked about storytelling and storytelling being about a character overcoming an obstacle and receiving a transformation. And I think good marketing inspires people to take action and receive a transformation in their own lives. And sometimes that has to do with buying a product or a program or a service. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just, can you entertain the person, get them to watch your show and have them stick on that and make their day, brighten up their day. So whatever that is, I think it's inspiring change.
Yeah. Position, promote, prosper through promotion. I mean, it's all about protecting the brand and bringing it to the consumer and hoping to get action out of it. So I have to ask, you're an athlete. I've seen you dunk and golf. How has golf helped define your career in life in terms of, not only making deals, but also just taking that time for yourself on the golf course to think and act?
One, thank you for bringing up my dunk. I know if Ian Abston's listening, he'll appreciate that. I have not failed to dunk. I haven't tried in about 5 years since that happened. I think that was it was a significant event in my life. I'm glad it got captured on camera, and I will have that video to show Ian.
Keep it up.
Ian
Keep up
forever.
the high energy.
Nice one-hander. So that, and then golf, I think Bree, my significant other who runs the business with me, she came on about 1.5 years ago. We'll I don't know how happy she'll be that you brought up my golf game. I get some flack from her and my dad for competing in some of these tournaments still, but I enjoy the competition. So I do some of that during the summer. I know low-key my dad's checking live scoring when I'm out there, but I enjoy that aspect. And it's been a good relationship building tool, I would say, from a business standpoint. I just got to be a little careful of driving up to Fond du Lac on a Tuesday to compete against some college kids and things like that.
You know, the golf world, especially as we get into the season, it takes a lot of work. And if you're going to do it, you got to do it well, and you got to play at a high level. That's what I've seen. That's why I guess I don't play as much as I used to, but I admire those that put in the effort and really compete. And you do that on a big scale. So I commend you for that.
I think I think a lot of people, if they ask what they need to do to get better, there's definitely some things, but to get a lot better, it usually consists of lessons and practice. And if that's not a good use of your time, I'd recommend just having a few drinks and going out there and having a good time and shooting 87 or whatever. There's handicaps for a reason. Anyone can play with anyone, and it's a good time and a good relationship building tool.
Yeah, very good. That's what sports is all about, building those relationships. So I wanted to talk and get your insights on the marketing of women's basketball. Will you see, first, did you catch Saturday Night Live this weekend? You see Caitlin Clark's appearance on Weekend Update?
I did not.
No? Okay, she was great. Just a wonderful segment, really kind of brought to life her personality in a new way on a really big stage. But how do you think Caitlin Clark's success continues to translate into the WNBA from a marketing perspective for not only the league, but for her?
I'll be fascinated to see that.
Yeah.
And you look at Caitlin Clark, or you look at other sports that were not as popular that just shot off and gained popularity. I think of golf during the Tiger Woods era. It was something different. People tune into greatness, and I think because he was really the first black golfer in a dominated white man's sport to go out and do that, people stuck to it, or people were very into cycling in the early 2000s. Lance Armstrong, who was an American, which was rare, who overcame testicular cancer and won, I believe, 7 tours, that brought a lot of attention to the sport. And Caitlin Clark breaking Pistol Pete's all-time scoring record. She's a girl from Iowa, of all places, going out. She's a good personality. She's entertaining. I think there were some other good storylines from LSU and South Carolina and Reese, and it was very compelling, and people tuned in. She was great, and it had good stories behind it. So I'll be fascinated to see if that translates to the WNBA, which I think has not went mainstream until this. It's probably never gone mainstream. You can argue that. Could this do it? I think it could, so it'll be interesting to see.
Fans like to attach themselves to single players, and I think the college game is much more community building. Hey, I went to school there. I want to attach myself. The professional game, no matter what the sport is, you want a good mix of the team and the player. So I think she has a really unique opportunity to bring home a league that needs more exposure and demands more exposure, because it's a wonderful sport. So I look forward to seeing what she does in the future. So when we come back, we're going to talk more with Richie Burke. For right now, WTMJ Siding Unlimited news time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next.
This is a special report from ABC News. Trump trial begins. I'm Dave Packer. On the first day of former President Donald Trump's New York criminal trial, rulings on several motions. Judge Juan Merchan denying a pair of motions filed by Trump's legal team seeking his recusal from the case. And prosecutors will not be allowed to play audio or video from the former president's infamous Access Hollywood tape or his video deposition from the E. Jean Carroll defamation case for jurors. ABC's John Santucci on Trump's demeanor so far inside the courtroom.
The former president's demeanor is listening intently. His arms folded. He's moving around in his chair a little bit. He's leaning in at certain times. I mean, taking all of this in, right? He's flanked by his legal counsel, Todd Blanche, of course, the lead attorney on this case for the former president. And, of course, District Attorney Alvin Bragg is also in the room.
Jury selection set to begin today. Hundreds of potential jurors to choose from. Finding 12 and alternates could take weeks. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:31. More security for the head of the Wisconsin Elections Commission. This after former President Trump mentioned her by name during a radio interview. While appearing on WTAQ radio in Green Bay last week, Trump accused Megan Wolf of trying to steal the upcoming election. A spokesman for the Election Commission tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel concerns over personal safety is a new reality for elections officials. 3 of Milwaukee County's top elected officials will get raises after a vote from the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors. The board adopted a nearly 12% raise for the treasurer, county clerk, and register of deeds. The decision comes after County Executive David Crowley vetoed a proposal for a 36% raise. New proposal now heads to his desk for approval. All 3 officials are up for re-election this fall. The raises will go into effect for the winners of those elections. New fares to ride the Connect One bus. The Milwaukee County Transit System wants riders to pay before boarding the Connect One bus. Riders will use the WizGo card or UMO app at the payment stations at each platform before boarding the bus. You can use cash or credit card to buy the ticket at the machine, then scan your ticket after paying to validate it, then board the bus at any door. MCTS recommends keeping proof of payment just in case. A transit security officer at the stations or on the bus may check. Connect One, of course, spans from Milwaukee's downtown to the Milwaukee Regional Medical Center in Wauwatosa, along Wisconsin Avenue and Blue Mound Road. Time for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 115 points at 38,098. NASDAQ is up 3, 16,178. The S&P 500 is up 10 at 5,134. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A couple of broken down vehicles. They're off to the shoulder, though. I-43 north, about 1.33 miles beyond the ramp from Port Washington. That's actually going to be off on the left shoulder. And then I-41 south at Ryan Road. There's the right shoulder block due to a disabled vehicle in that location. Here's your Storm Team 4 5-day forecast. Sunny and mild today with afternoon breezes lakeside. High 65 lakeside, 71 inland. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 43. Rain and storms likely tomorrow. It's going to be breezy with a high 57. Storms continuing Wednesday with a high 65. Maybe a few showers on Thursday with a high 58. And Friday partly cloudy with a high of 55. Madison 60, Green Bay 58, Milwaukee 62 degrees. I'm Connie Weber. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 1034.
Did your home suffer damage from a storm or severe weather? Don't stress any longer. Loyal Family Renovations treats all of its customers like they've joined their personal family, and every project as if the work was being done at their own house. Loyal Family Renovations has a leg up on the competition due to the personal relationships they've built with insurance adjusters over the years. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today to help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
$1. Just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. We're passionate about continuing on our mission to help more Wisconsin businesses create more success. If you have any questions about our insurance products or just want a second opinion about your insurance or employee benefits, I invite you to check out ANSI.com, or better yet, give us a call at Yancey & Associates. And let's have a conversation about your business and how we can help you secure, protect, and grow your version of the American dream.
You know, it feels good when I find something really cool and get a great deal on it. But it feels even better when I know that the money I spend actually goes directly to helping others. That's why I shop at St. Vincent de Paul, because I always find the best bargains, and the money I spend stays in Milwaukee County to help fight hunger and eliminate poverty. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton in Greenfield and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
The Upswing is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. You are listening to WTMJ. I am here today with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios. Richie, again, appreciate you taking the time on a Monday morning to talk media, marketing, and podcasting and more with us. So your grandfather founded Trek Bikes in Waterloo, Wisconsin. Started with a kind of a single bike store years ago. Maybe failed a little bit with that and pivoted into manufacturing high-end bicycles, right?
Yeah, he had a couple bike stores in the Madison area before then, which I think they did all right, but didn't really work out. And then started Trek out of a barn in Waterloo, Wisconsin in 1976.
Okay, very good. And your dad now, who I love that you call JB, is the current president at Trek.
Yeah, he's been the president, I think, since 97. So he's been going at it for a while. He started there right after college, worked with my grandfather. That was probably in 84-ish.
Okay.
When Trek was still in its early years, losing money at the time, probably about 8 years into it, and really helped grow it and get it to where it is today, and done an amazing job.
So growing up in an entrepreneurial family, how is that a main reason you're your own man with your business now?
Yeah, that probably definitely inspired me. So my grandpa unfortunately passed away in 2008, which was the year I got to Marquette. He was healthy. He was in his early 70s, had a minor heart issue, had a surgery that went wrong, like a 1% chance of it turning out poorly, and unfortunately passed away then. So I was excited to get to Milwaukee while he was here, but spent some time with him then, but it was in the hospital, but had good memories of him growing up. But I never looked at him as a business person when I was younger. He was
your grandpa.
My grandpa for the most part. But after starting my business and realizing how difficult it is to actually get a business off the ground, just immense amounts of respect for what him and my dad and everyone at Trek has been able to do to get it to where it is today. And just growing up with my dad and seeing how hard he worked and how much he traveled, and he's still a machine. It's just, it's been a great person. It's been very inspiring.
Yeah, even if we don't work day to day with our parents or grandfathers, no matter what they're doing, you still get those lessons through osmosis just being around them, right?
Absolutely.
And that's inspiring for sure. So you helped your dad put together kind of a manifesto, if you will, for a possible presidential run. Helped him kind of position his thoughts and put together kind of some unique marketing around packaging, not only a presidential candidate possibly, but his bold ideas for the future of America.
Yeah, so he is not running. So this was not a playbook for him to run, but he's like a lot of us, a concerned, frustrated citizen with what's been going on in this country, and this is not just recently. This is over the last decade or two, in the way the government's operating. So he created a book called A Bold Plan. Anyone can download it for free at aboldplan.com. It's a quick read. It's got 50 charts and graphs, and it just goes over high performance government, climate change, gun deaths in America, how we have the most people locked up per capita by a long shot, nuclear war, how we're $33 trillion in debt, and solutions, nonpartisan solutions to fix 14 different issues. I just rattled off probably about 6 of them, but it's pretty deep, and his goal is just to educate our citizens of what's going on in this country, and politicians aren't really talking about any of that because they just kind of latch on to one issue and try and bash the other person, especially during election season. So he wants people to talk about the issues and the facts that are out there. So it's a bold plan for anyone who's interested.
Very good. He tweeted recently, "I'm excited to announce a bold plan for America. We need leaders prioritizing long-term U.S. interests and better citizenship. Goal, educate on issues and provide nonpartisan solutions. Follow and spread and share to spread awareness." So it's great that you're assisting and being able to help work with your dad each and every day to kind of get his ideas and action plan to a bigger audience. So kudos to you. We'll be back with more with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Back with more of The Upswing after this.
Inflation is real, but not at the family-owned Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. This is new. Every Monday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Buy 10, get 10 free pizzas. Coaches and teachers, bring your team or school club. Your players will love the pizza and that world-class game room. It's safe. It's super affordable. It's great team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll remember you, and a great way to start the week is your second pizza is always free. Don't cook and clean today. Mondays are tough enough. Enjoy the free pizza at the Mine Shaft. I love the pizza. Your kids and grandkids will love that huge game room. Order now, pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Buy one pizza today, get one free for an easy Monday. And desserts, buy one, get one free. Just walk on in. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 11.5 to 15-ounce selected varieties Marie Callender dinners or pot pies, 2 for $6. 7 to 15-ounce selected varieties Rana pasta or sauce, $3.99. 45-ounce tub selected varieties Imperial spread, $3.99. 128-ounce selected varieties Hawaiian punch, $3.49.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
The Upswing is back on WTMJ.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, talking today with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios, located in beautiful Walker's Point, Wisconsin, just outside of downtown Milwaukee. Again, Richie, thanks for taking the time. At the heart of what we're doing at the Upswing is talking to people that care and do. It's conversations at the intersection of community, life, and business. And we're all living our lives each and every day. And you've been really public with some of your struggles with anxiety and just kind of overcoming anxiety in your life, working to calm yourself. How have you done that in a way that's helped power your business forward?
Yeah, just to add some context, I had some anxiety issues growing up, nothing too detrimental. And then about 7 years ago, I was flying back on a family vacation from Quebec. I'd never had any issues flying before, and I'm on a plane. I'm all the way in the back of the plane. It got delayed a bunch. Then it landed at O'Hare and just stalled on a tarmac, not for too long, but probably after about 10 minutes, heart started pounding, started sweating, started shaking, started breathing really heavily, and just had like a full-blown panic attack on that plane. Plane started moving after about 10 minutes of that panic attack. Anxiety dissipated a little, got off the plane, got out of O'Hare, hopped in an Uber to get to Milwaukee, and my anxiety was gone. But after that, I've had to deal with a lot of issues that I didn't have to before flying. Next time I had to get on a plane, I think I was in tears and had to pop some clonazepam to calm me down, which is kind of a hardcore anxiety drug. Taking elevators was difficult for me, still can be if I'm not doing it often. being stuck in standstill traffic at the time triggered anxiety. So I had a lot of these issues at age 28, 29 that I'd never had to deal with in my life. So went to therapy, had a good therapist. She had me doing a lot of exposure exercises. I had to ride the elevator in my building over on Prospect Towers every day to certain floors without my phone, just doing things like that. Got into breath work and meditation.
Work it through repetition.
Yeah, exactly. Because that helps rewire your brain. If it's in a certain way, you got to kind of like do it. That's the best way to get through it. Also got into breath work, which I thought was very weird and out there, but you know, got into it. And
do you do that on a regular basis, on a daily basis now, or at least in some capacity?
Yeah, I do. I do that. Do some yoga too. That can be helpful. But yeah, I've definitely had to deal with these issues and work on them throughout the past few years to get better. And I think the main message is if people are dealing with anxiety or mental health issues, it definitely can get better. A lot of people don't seek help, and when you're not getting better, they're getting worse typically. But if you do seek help and then actually putting in the work, which is the difficult part, for me, it was easy to show up to therapy once every week or two, but it was difficult to get in that elevator day after day, to do those breathing exercises day after day, to do things that were out of my comfort zone. And that's what really helped me get better. Flying again after a few years of doing that. I flew medication free for the first time since that incident. So it's an ongoing battle. I may have to deal with it for the rest of my life, but it's manageable, and it can get better when I got the right habits in place.
Jump in, just keep swimming, get help if you need help, and, continue to make your life as good as it can be, because we're all, there's all wonderful things happening in our lives, but sometimes it manifests itself in a different way. So kudos to you for continuing to overcome, empower, and build a business at the same time. Your podcast is called Milwaukee Uncut. When we come back from the break, I want to talk about that current project, how you produce it, how you create it, how you distribute it, and get some insights into the world of marketing Wisconsin and Milwaukee. We are talking with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios. This is The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We'll be right back after this break.
Back with more of The Upswing after this. The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Hugs from patients, like Patrick from here in Milwaukee. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go, because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this. Who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ridiculous fees, robocalls, customer service that's lacking the actual service. It sounds like you might be getting bullied by your bank. You don't have to settle. At Wintrust, we take a different approach. Whether you need banking solutions, a new home, or help planning your financial future, Wintrust has local experts ready to lend a hand. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start banking where you matter at wintrust.com/no-bully. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Here's more of the Upswing on WTMJ.
Welcome back to our Monday conversation around media, marketing, and more with Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios, located right here, just outside of downtown Milwaukee in Walker's Point. Richie, how's the new office space treating you? You blended into the neighborhood and invested and ingrained in all things Walker's Point?
We love it. Love Walker's Point. It's nice. We built out a studio, opened it up last May, and it's great. We got a little work area for the team, a conference room, and then a nice content studio back there. We're right on 2nd and Florida.
Okay,
right in the heart.
All right. So you produce and create and distribute a podcast called Milwaukee Uncut. Tell us what the mission of that podcast is and what you do each and every day with that.
Yeah, it's just entertaining, inspiring, untold stories from Milwaukee legends. We've had some great guests on recently. We had Cam and Stevie from Marquette come on during the tournament. Charlie Barons came on back in December. Just had one of the Packers tight ends, Tyler Davis, come on. And yeah, we had a couple of the Admirals come on, which was a fun episode. That'll go live this week. And it's just kind of unfiltered conversations. It's a podcast. It's definitely an Instagram show, too. The clips have been very popular, kind of generating hundreds of thousands of views a month, typically on Instagram. And YouTube, which we started putting effort into a few weeks ago, has been a great platform for us as well. I really enjoy doing the show and putting that content out there for Milwaukee, and it's been fun. So if anyone wants to tune in, I'll shamelessly plug it, Milwaukee Uncut, on any podcast platforms or on social media.
Okay, nice. So you're pretty involved with the marketing of greater Milwaukee and Wisconsin, obviously as a marketer at heart. What are some of your suggestions for the recruitment and retention of even more people to get to the mayor's 1 million mark? We all got to do the hard work. What are some of the things from a marketing lens that we can do to drive that population?
The mayor has a very ambitious goal, which I like. I think he's doing a great job. He came on the podcast too.
Nice.
I'll plug it again.
All right.
Mayor Chevy was on, as well as County Executive Crowley. I think they're both great young leaders for the city. From a sheer marketing standpoint, it's easy to market something that's a great product, and I think Milwaukee is a great product. You hear about people coming from the coast. Whenever my friends come that are from out of town, they're really surprised by what the city has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we had Peyton Sarton, who's dating the Brewers pitcher. His name, Joe Ross. And the Joe Ross, she has a big podcast with Dear Media out in LA. She rented our studio a couple of weeks ago, and people out of town are surprised by the lake and everything Milwaukee has to offer. So I think just getting more content out there about the city on eyeballs within it that people can share out and take more pride in the city as well as outside of it too. Drone Nate came on, and he said he ran into people who moved here after seeing his content of Milwaukee. Nice. So I think things like that make a difference. And then just, I don't know the answers to this, but just doing everything we can to make it a great place to live and building a great community here.
What do you recommend to your clients that want to tell the Milwaukee and the Wisconsin story through their content? I mean, they have to be evangelists too in order for it, to continue to work.
Yeah, I guess so. That goes back to great storytelling, usually going through that formula we develop. But if you're looking at it, you need to keep in mind what's in the best interest of the person that's going to move here or come to your company. What are they going to be getting out of it? And then positioning the company and the city of Milwaukee as that guide that's going to help them get their transformation or their ideal life, which would be here in Milwaukee in that case.
Very good. I like to ask people as we round out the show. Richie Burke, president of Storymark Studios. Richie, how do you define success?
How much time do we have left?
We got about 25 seconds.
25 seconds.
Yes.
Perfect. We'll go with the short answer. I think it's different for everyone. It's just getting better every day, and sometimes that's getting back to where you were. We had a big rebuild in business this year. With my anxiety issues, I kind of had to get back to where I was. So I think it's either getting to the next level, getting back to where you were, and I think giving back to the community too through whatever you want to get involved in. So very different definition for everyone.
Very good. All right, onward and upward. That's what it is all about. This is the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Tomorrow on the show, Dr. Eve Hall, president and CEO of the Milwaukee Urban League. Dr. Hall previews the organization's annual meeting that's coming up Wednesday. Wisconsin's Midday News with Adam Roberts, who's filling in for Greg Matzik, and Jessica Ty is coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.